Hey gang, your old pal Devall here from ToyWorldOrder.com, welcoming you to another episode of Devall's collection, Expansion Extravaganza. This show, of course, is all about what I find in garage sales, flea markets, antique stores, auctions, eBay, and so much more. And just like the show used to be named as Flea Market Finds, the show is truly just about my collection and how it seems to be growing and growing by leaps and bounds every day of every week of every month of every year. So, with that out of the way, notice from the last episode, I actually remembered the name for my own show this time. Ha! Good stuff, right? Yeah. Now, what to show you first? Ooh, lunchboxes. Now, you know I'm a big fan of lunchboxes. I like to find lunchboxes, usually complete with the thermoses, but if I can't find them with the thermos and they're a good price, I will pick them up even though there's no thermos. Two of the lunchboxes I found, one of them is a very classic image of the G.I. Joe Tiger Force. This lunchbox is, I don't know if it's one of the more popular G.I. Joe lunchboxes, but it's one of the ones that I don't see very often out in the wild. I usually see the USS Defiant lunchbox. I see that one all the time. This one not so much and not very often. Of course, no thermos. But stickers had a little bit of wear in the corner. Nothing too terrible, but overall it's in really good shape. It's got a little bubbling happening, but no scratches, no tears really on it. Still a beautiful image. And the lunchbox itself's got a little bit of rust on the top of the latch, and it's got some dings on the plastic in the back, some white spots and stuff where it's kind of somebody tried to gram something in there, or bang it against something, you know. Dish, dish. Very cool lunchbox though. The second lunchbox I found is actually one on a very little known 80s property that when people my age, a little bit younger, are reminded of the characters and the name, they go, I do remember that. And the name and the characters were the Shirt Tales. Now, of course, these Shirt Tales were from Hallmark Cards, if I remember correctly. And they were created much like the other Hallmark Cards characters, you know, Strawberry Shortcake, Care Bears. I'm trying to think who else they created. Popples? Now, all of those I'm pretty sure were created by Hallmark Cards at one point or another in the 80s, or at least they appeared on Hallmark Cards, so don't quote me on that because my this brain up here is getting kind of fuzzy on details as I get a little older. But the Shirt Tales lunchbox is very cool. Of course, I don't remember the names of any of them, but it's a classic image. Hanna-Barbera, if I remember, it was Hanna-Barbera. It was Warner Brothers. I know that was Hanna-Barbera. I'm pretty sure. Did a Shirt Tales cartoon series in the 80s, and of course, they drove around in this little Shirt Tales car, which was pretty, was in the cartoon show all the time. Very cool little lunchbox. Again, no thermos. No thermos. Sticker. It's not even actually a sticker on this, which is surprising because a lot of lunchboxes in the 80s were just stickers on the face of this. This is actually printed on the lunchbox. It's actually a part of the lunchbox, which is kind of cool, which, you know, I haven't really seen a whole lot of 80s lunchboxes like that, but it's in the image is in beautiful shape. It's got some scuffs and some marks. Of course, instead of a metal latch, it's got a partially metal, partially plastic latch that allows it to close properly. White handle. Very fun lunchbox, beautiful image, and one that I was very happy to see out in the wild. And I think for both lunchboxes we paid like $5 for, so like together, good deal in my book, right? Let's move on. Now, I don't know if I've talked about my love for the 1989 Walt Disney animated film, The Little Mermaid, by far my favorite Disney animated film of all time. So big, in fact, that I kind of have just to my right in the room that you can't see right off camera, I have a very kind of what I believe my friend Pixel Dan Erdley describes as a very creepy Little Mermaid shrine. I don't think it's, well, okay, maybe it's a little creepy. I got a lot of Little Mermaid stuff, man. I keep buying it. What are you gonna do? It's my favorite movie. I'm gonna buy all of them. This last King County Toy Show in Chicago, Illinois, I was looking and found something that probably I knew existed, but I had forgotten. Tyco had the Little Mermaid license when the movie came out, and for quite a few years after that, Tyco was making dolls and clothes and characters for the film. And one of the things they released was this, I want to say she's probably about 18 inches, Little Mermaid talking Ariel doll. And she was a pull string. She had this little pull string back here, rooted hair, which the hair's probably seen better days, but I'm sure eventually I can find somebody that can fix this for me. Really nice shape. Her body's a little yellowed. It's starting to yellow a little bit, which is kind of sad. It's kind of, kind of figured. Her tail doesn't stay up all the time, and she can't really stand or do anything else other than fall because she has no balance point, really. I guess you could do this. But by pulling the pull string back here, let's see if we can attempt to... She still works, kinda. I think she said Scuttle will know what this is. It's kind of fast, right? Flounder, don't be such a guppy. Oh, Sebastian, don't worry. So the voice box is a little fast. Kind of figured that'll happen with age with these things. I'm surprised she works at all. But this is going to be a very fun collectible to put into my, as my friend again, Pixel Dan Erdley likes to say, my creepy Little Mermaid shrine. I don't think it's creepy. It's not creepy at all, is it? No, it's not creepy at all. Yes, my little mermaid. Okay, it's creepy. I'm sorry, it's creepy. Let's move on. I love finding licensed kids books, and I'm going to burn through a few of them here right now, and I'm going to show you a little bit about them. I found a number of awesome hardback and a couple of soft cover licensed large size kids books. One of them I found was the Golden Heroic Champion storybook for Princess of Power, Too Long at the Fair. Another one I found was a great Disney book, The Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which is the storybook, if I remember correctly, and it's been a long time since I've looked at this, actually tells the tale of the first meeting of the Gummies and the Royal Squire and the Princess. Kind of shows how they all met, how Duke Igthorn came to hate them and wanted the gummy bear juice for his own. Beautiful, beautiful hand-drawn artwork in here for the Disney Gummy Bears series, all based off the story of the original animated series of the pilot. This actually, you'll excuse me a second while I see if I can find a copyright date, and I'm not sure I can on this. So this was 77, and this actually was printed by Random House, and it is a young adult storybook on Star Trek, The Truth Machine. But the artwork in here is done in a very kind of quasi-realistic comic book style. Of course, you could tell Kirk, Spock, Bones, just this very interesting style of artwork for this book. I've seen this book a few times, but not in this good a shape. I mean, the back's got a little bit of dirt on it, but the cover is just gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, and it's just a very, very fun story. I got two carded action figures for today. One of them is one that didn't really see a large release in the States. It was kind of made it overseas, and I only saw it once as a kid in the States. But it was based on the movie Hook, starring Robin Williams, and it was done by Mattel, and it was done in '91. And the second series of this series was, you had Pirate Smee, you had Skull Armor Captain Hook, you had the Lost Boy Attack Croc, you had Learn to Fly Peter Pan, you had Battle Swing Peter Pan, you had Swiss Army Captain Hook, and you had none other than the Lost Boy Thudbutt. Come on now. Come on now. Thudbutt figure's kind of cool. He comes with Comes with some very interesting stuff. He's got a beaver that sits on his arm that attaches to a peg. I don't know why. He didn't really have a beaver in the movie on his arm, but he comes with a turtle shield and a chunk of cheese and a couple of blades. And this is kind of fun because basically you bend his legs, his chest, and his head down, and just like in the movie, he rolls up into a ball and you can throw him at the villains. This is one of those underrated lines that I hear a lot of collectors talk about, yak about, and don't like because it's not a great line, but the designs Mattel used and some of the action features on these toys is actually pretty fun. Especially as a kid, I had all the first series of Captain Hook, all the Hook stuff, and this second series was kind of a thing of legend because we never saw it around here. I saw Thudbutt once in a Kmart, but at this last King County Toy Show, this guy had it buried underneath a bunch of stuff, cards in beautiful shapes, got a couple little bins on the bottom, $10. I've seen Thudbutt sell for like $40 or $50, and I bought him for $10. So I'd say that's a deal for a line that I don't collect. I'm always going to find me some deals on that stuff. Very awesome. This next up is a line that I've kind of been collecting since last year when my buddy Dave Draper bought me a bag full of them, complete and loose, at a Toyman toy show that I didn't get to go to, and that series is Coleco's Rambo, based on the animated television series that, of course, in turn based on the R-rated movie series starring Sylvester Stallone. And one of the figures from that line was Turbo, who was a Daredevil pilot and mechanical genius. I got him a couple weeks ago for, I think I paid $10 for him on card. Card's in okay shape, but the thing is that the bubble's starting to separate from the card along here, and there's a big crease where it's kind of pulled off down towards his feet. It's starting to separate. Eventually, this is going to be an opener. I'm going to open him carefully. I'm going to keep the back because the back is really cool. Back's kind of plain. The front is beautiful. Beautiful hand-drawn artwork on the front, the Rambo logo across the top. And these figures were really great because a lot of them, some of them had like pull string, like Rambo's the original bare-chested Rambo. His rocket launcher, you'd pull a string and it would launch the rocket. Same with General Warhawk, he had a sword that you pull the string and the sword flies out. But a lot of these characters, like Turbo here, actually had motorized backpacks where with Turbo you'd put the helmet and the missiles back behind him, and then you'd hit a button and it would swing up the helmet to cover his face. Very, very cool toy line. And this is one where I've kind of been trying to collect most of them. I think I have Colonel Troutman, I have Turbo, I have Cat, I have Nomad, Gripper, Mad Dog, and General Warhawk. So trying to find the rest of Series 1 kind of gets a little hard. Series 2, I'm probably not going to mess with because those are really super rare. But this was a fun toy to find, so I was very glad to get a hold of it for the price I caught it, because usually this figure alone goes for about $35, and I paid $10 for him. So I have a lot of luck with Rambo figures, which is really strange because I bought a Colonel Troutman a couple years ago, mint on card in beautiful condition, for like $7. I don't know what my luck is with Rambo stuff, but I seem to be pretty lucky. Let's move on. I got one last thing to show you for this episode. Now I found a very, very rare board game from 1966. It's not often I buy board games this old. I think the only other one I had this old is the Beverly Hillbillies game from the 60s. But this one kind of caught my eye because of what it is and because of what it's designed like. And myself and Pixel Dan Erdley were at King County. We were looking around, we saw this board game, and immediately Dan was like, you have to buy that because that's awesome. I paid $30 for it. It's complete, which is kind of hard, and apparently this is a pretty rare game to find complete, especially for this price. When we were on our way home from Chicago, I happened to look it up on eBay just out of curiosity, and the only two on there, one was the board and they wanted $14 for it. There were a couple pieces, and then there was an actual boxed game that was missing pieces, quite a few pieces actually, and they wanted $100 for an incomplete version of this game, and I bought this complete version for $30. And that game is the 1966 game from Topper Toys called Silly Safari, and it's very, very much almost a mousetrap type game that uses animals. It's pretty neat looking. I haven't got to play it yet. I plan on it, but to find a very rare game from the 60s complete for this price at a toy show, it's kind of surprising, really. This guy had all kinds of antique toys, like rare, not like 30s and 20s toys, but very rare, like 50s and 60s stuff, Dick Tracy, all that kind of stuff. And this was just stacked in under some games, and this was the most affordable game in the stack. So, of course, I bought it. This is really neat looking, and if you ever get a chance to buy this game, I would suggest buying it because it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. The characters that are on the playboard are just amazing, and this is really neat, and for 30 bucks, this was a steal. So there you go, gang. That brings us to the end of another episode of Devall's Collection Expansion Extravaganza. Hope you'll tune in next time. I got lots of other great stuff to show you in the future. I still have lots of stuff to show you. So we'll have plenty to talk about through the summer as the warm season continues, as more toy shows happen, as we near the winter season where things kind of slow down. I will have plenty of material to show you. So make sure you tune in to toyworldorder.com. Check this show out, as well as all the other great stuff going on with Dave and Devall's Toys and Collectibles, Married to the Collection, which will be coming back very soon if it's not back by the time you see this, as well as all the great toy reviews. Of course, we had a new reviewer in the form of Adas Baron, who is a spectacular toy reviewer in his own right, and is very, very fun and energetic and great to watch, as well as original programming, which I've been hyping for a while now, and people may be asking, where is it, when's it coming? It takes a while to get this stuff done and get it done properly. So it's coming. I promise you there's some great stuff coming on the horizon. Make sure you go to YouTube if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the Toy World Order channel. It's very easy. Just go to youtube.com/toyworldorder and you'll find our show page and just hit subscribe, and you'll be helping us out greatly. It allows us to continue to do these great shows. The more subscribers we get, the better our stuff can get. So make sure you do that and tell all your friends. And until next time, gang, keep digging because you never know what you'll find. Take care.